Now, I bet a whole lot of us is planning some big trip out of town right now for the summer, but I gotta remind you, you probably don't need to go as far away as you think, because Illinois is in the middle of everything. Whether you are looking for adventures in breathtaking state parks, check. Explore the neon nostalgia of Route 66, check. Or want to make the most of summertime shot like me, check. And Enjoy Illinois can help you plan your getaway or help you convince your people to come visit you this time. Find just what you're looking for and a little more at enjoyillinois.com. Today on CityCast Chicago, this month and year marks the 100th anniversary of the Mother Road. Of course, I'm talking about Route 66, which helped define the cross-country road trip. It stretches from Chicago to Santa Monica, now pier to pier. And last year, we took a quick trip across Chicago's little slice of Route 66. It's Tuesday, April 7th. I'm Jacoby Cochran, and this is what Chicago's talking about. I am out here on the corner of Michigan and Adams, my friends, at the start of the legendary Route 66. I am here with our friends from 77 Flavors of Chicago, Sarah Fada and Dario Durham. What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling today?
What's happening? We on the street, we on the block this time.
Bro, we have spent so many conversations in our little cozy, warm rooms over Riverside, but now we are out here. We got the Bucky Boys in the background. I like to call them Andre 3000 and Big Boy, the two Art Institute Lions. Yeah. But we're down here to talk about Route 66 because almost 100 years ago, this thing was designated and started up. But we know y'all, local Chicago historians, y'all could really give us a deep dive on this route's history. And honestly, the question is it still important? Is it still significant 100 years later? But let's kind of set the scene a little bit, kind of give us a little bit of the history of Route 66.
Yeah, so Route 66, like you said, is 99 years old as of right now. Next year is the 100-year anniversary. November 11th, 1926 is when it started. And if anybody is not familiar, it is the Mother Road coined by John Steinbeck. And the whole purpose of Western expansion. This was starting, and where else to start? In Chicago, railroads were doing what they were doing. People needed work, and they wanted to make some money. And so that's why it started right here. And like you said, there's a lot of change that's happening with it. Not so much in Chicago, but as we get to Joliet, St. Louis, and then the other, New Mexico and everywhere else, a lot of change is going on.
Growing up, again, it's been called the Mother Road. It basically, I don't want to say pioneer road trips, but when people think about like the Great American Road Trip, they think about Route 66. Growing up, is this something you knew about?
Well, what's wild is growing up in thousands of miles away from here, I already knew, I didn't know what it was, but I knew that it was the road that you take to go on road trips. That was like the idea of a road trip. I'd seen it in like movies, read about it in books, but never actually knew what it was.
Yeah, I always wanted to do it.
I know that it starts in Chicago, ends in LA, but starting endpoint in Chicago, off the top of the dome, do you know all of the states that the legendary Route 66 passes through?
Here's the thing, I don't know all the states, period.
Let's name 50 altogether. I think, so I'm going to say Illinois, Missouri, Texas, Nevada, New Mexico, and California. I believe are all the states that it goes through. I think I'm right on that.
Let me see.
Let's see.
Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California. What's interesting is at this time, different parts of like the country are trying to revive Route 66. Yeah. You're starting to see more signs pop up. Like I can't remember this like NASCAR themed checkered flag Route 66. Okay, how new is it?
Probably last summer. So so it's very new. Interesting thing about the signs that you bring those up, because so there's this sign, the newest sign, and I think that's only Chicago, but the signs that we see, that the brown signs, those are the modern historic signs. So those are the kind of like the original signs, but they're signs that predate that. I don't think that a lot of people, even Chicago probably knows where it starts, because a block over from here is the end point of it. So, and that sign, I didn't know that sign was there. So to see the end of, because it technically ends in Santa Monica. So, but like it starts here.
Yeah, we're gonna go over to the sign. Historic Route 66, the main street of America. In the 1920s, America became an automobile nation. At the start of the decade, there were 8 million cars on the road, but roughly 32,000 of the nation's 2.5 million miles of rural roads were paved, making transcontinental travel prohibitively slow. By the end of the 1920s, Americans owned 23 million cars, with many driving Henry Ford's affordable Model T.
You sound like back in the day, too. That's probably how they sound saying it.
It got its official name on, I believe, April 30th, 1926. Yeah. April 30th, an important day. Yeah. Of course, I came into the world, 1991.
Shout out to
Route 66 sort of phased out over different decades, right? Its boom was like the 30s and the 40s, but by the 50s, when more interstate highways are popping up, and then by the 70s, and I think the Route 66 Commission shut down.
85.
There we go.
85.
Oh my God.
85.
And so, Simone, can you describe the route we're going to take today? We're going to kind of do a guide to Route 66 in Chicago, talk about some things you can see along the way, some restaurants you can stop at, but what's the exact driving route we're going to take?
Yeah, so old Route 66 basically covers Ogden. We're going to take Ogden to Cermak, and that's basically where it ends at city limits in Chicago. And so we're going to go through several different neighborhoods. We're going to pass UIC. We're going to pass Douglas Park, and talk about some things you could see along Route 66 if you want to take the miniest version of a Route 66 road trip.
I feel like the idea of road tripping is very unique to countries as large as the U.S. just because you could drive for 6 hours and still be in Illinois, but other parts of the world, you drive for 6 hours, you pass like 2-3 countries. Like if I drove for 3 hours from my house in Jordan, I would be in Lebanon.
All right, so we are hopping in the car with executive producer Simone Alicea. Air freshened up.
There's CityCast pins. How many times you got to be a guest to get a pin?
It smells so good in here.
All right, so we just got in the car. You can still hear the Bucky Boys inside here. I don't know if y'all can hear it. Look over my right shoulder, you can see Sears Tower.
Let's go.
So we're going south on Michigan. Let's start in the loop, y'all. Y'all got any picks on y'all list at the very start of Route 66? Obviously, I think the big one is the Art Institute right at the very start of the route. Yeah.
I think one of my favorite things that's pretty, I don't want to say underrated because it's right in front of you, but it is just the parks to your left once you leave the Art Institute. There's also one of my favorite Metro stops. It is a Metro entrance that looks like the Metro entrances in Paris, and there's also only one in Mexico City. Mm-hmm. The sister cities got one that looks like it, and it's endangered. It was at risk of being taken down, but it's a cool little stop that some people might not notice. We made a video about it, and people were like, "Oh, I've never even seen that before," and I work right next to it.
Yeah.
The Van Buren Metro stop, I use it all the time. Yeah, last I heard they were gonna replace them, but are they keeping them?
I haven't heard anything.
Move them.
Okay.
I think they're using rehabilitation of it as the scapegoat to move them. So we don't know.
Okay.
But I will say at this corner right here, Wabash, this Kimball building, which is the DePaul campus, you can see Kimball is a faint little ghost sign. And that was one of the premier piano makers in Chicago, and to the point where Chicago was one of the piano manufacturers of the world. So that's now my favorite fun fact around this area.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. A couple of dessert spots back at the start of the route as well. I saw Kilwins, and Palmer House is like a block over from the Art Institute, so you can stop and get that Palmer House brownie where they will tell you with no hesitation that they invented the brownie.
Yeah, that brownie is good too.
It is
that
so
brownie
good.
Is good.
We went in the kitchen a couple of years ago, met with the staff and the chefs. They kind of tell you the story of the World's Fair back in 1893.
A lot of things happened in 1893.
Oh my! So many things go back to 1893. Route 66 doesn't go back that far, but it was it was already conceived of by the time we get to the second World's Fair.
Yeah. Something I will tell you a little bit later on this road trip, something else did start in 1893 that y'all probably don't know. And I'm going to hold off on this fun fact.
Oh, my God. All right, come on. Spring in Chicago really trying us this year out the gate. We done got the wind and the rain and the hail and the thunder. And if we being honest, it's probably revealed some of our windows to be a little fool. Luckily, the pros at Window Nation can help you get new energy efficient windows at a great price. Window Nation's the more you buy, the more you save sale is going on right now, where you can get up to 50% off all the windows for your home. You heard me correct, half off. The experts will make sure your new windows fit perfectly and keep your home comfortable all year round, and they're in and they out, and those windows gonna be easy to open when we do finally get them sunny days. But don't wait, the sale ends soon, and you need windows that help you get through the weather we got right now. Schedule a fast free consultation at windownation.com. We are passing on Adams the Flamingo sculpture.
That's this route is also Ferris Bueller's Day Off. The parade route.
Facts after facts after facts.
Inside of the Sterling Food Hall is Hot Shot Chicken. A lot of good food in there, but Hot Shot Chicken, if y'all haven't had that,
yeah, that's a good one.
They originated on 87th out south, and
they just opened out here.
They just opened up in here. Good food.
The interesting thing about Sterling Food Hall is every single restaurant in there is actually locally owned. There are no chains.
Oh, we're passing a Route 66 sign outside of the 7-Eleven right off of Wacker and Adams.
Iconic location. Do you have a favorite bridge that goes over the river?
Oh. Is Dusable a cop-out?
No. 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 Of course, the raindrops.
Got the rain going on in the background. We just passed another historic Route 66 sign at Des Plaines and Adams. It really kind of guides you along the route. Now we entering into Greektown. I see Athena, Greek islands, and the National Hellenic Museum is one of the most beautiful mid-sized museum in Chicago.
Yeah.
It is their most recent remodel is gorgeous.
I think Athena is the now first restaurant featured on our podcast.
I like they have like a little, they open the roof on the inside so you feel like you're sitting, and there's fountains and stuff. It's really
that waterfall walk.
What's your favorite thing to get at Athena?
Ooh. They have the very garlicky potatoes that are phenomenal, which I think you can find at any Greek restaurant. But those
that chicken, though.
Chicken's really good.
That chicken is.
Their margaritas are good.
Yeah, that's my favorite. The margarita is actually top notch.
Taking this route that feels, like you said, Simone, kind of unnatural, is kind of nice because you're passing through so many different neighborhoods that you might normally just not go through. Like if I'm going to where we're going, I would never go through Greektown maybe.
Like you might just hop on the highway, you might take a different main road, but what's interesting is we talk about Route 66 as like this mother road, this great American road trip, but like right now we just passed Skinner Elementary and the United Center. We're in like UIC campus. Like this is not road trip. Like we start in the middle of downtown. Can you kind of talk about some of that like evolution and how like it in many ways just it can never be what it used to be, because now we're kind of going through residential area.
Yeah, I feel like Chicago was lucky because thinking of the late 19th century, we were considered the wild west, and so when the city expanded, we had the option, obviously after the fire, to expand west. Residential pushed into these like back roads that were kind of like Route 66 that just
just passed another historic Route 66 sign.
You don't realize how many signs there are, because you're right. This is not a route that a Chicagoan would take to do this.
We are about to make that diagonal turn onto Ogden. And the Route 66 signs really guide you along, like guide you up Adams take you around the medical district, and kind of send you straight up Ogden, where you are introduced immediately to the throwback Church's Chicken.
Yeah, this is...
Which, boy, them boys was prolific when I was a kid.
They were. Well, they were the Walgreens.
That was the mainstay after Sunday church.
Yeah.
Was Church's Chicken, and the one right here on Jackson got the 10-piece leg, thigh, or tender for $12.99.
Okay, now what's your order though? I haven't ordered from Church's Inn. That logo is even new from when I was.
Honestly, I only remember getting it with my family, and so I'd probably be getting it to go to my mom's house, and I'm gonna go and hit them up for this 10-piece.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the
this seems
probably
like a
thighs
deal.
though.
Yeah.
Or a little mix and match if we can.
If you can. I don't know. Back in the day, they used to be sticklers over. Mm-hmm. You get what you get. Now, this is the medical district is, this is historic, obviously. I want to get to the point of the fun fact that I had. I think we might all know that this is the largest medical district, not only in the United States, but entire North America. So that's
How many different hospitals are?
You got a bunch. You got all 4 of Chicago's major ones: Stroger, Cook, Rush, the VA, different things medically related here in the area. But something that was also in this area started in 1893. It was the second version of the West Side Baseball Park, and it debuted 1893, and that's where the Chicago Cubs used Chicago Cubs for the first time here. Yeah. So this is a pretty historic area. There used to be a baseball field here. The Cubs. Yeah, there used to be a West Side team.
The big Illinois Medical District sign. Rush University Medical College, University of Illinois College of Medicine at Chicago. 560 acres of medical research facilities, over 40 different orgs, 40 different institutions.
Oh, it's right there on the
located
left.
on this campus.
Oh, there it is.
Another Route 66 sign. It's one of the newer ones that was put up last year.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize it was the largest in North America.
Me either.
Yeah, that's just another reason why Chicago is. We them boys. We them boys.
We just passed Union Park, which makes me think about the last Pitchfork.
Oh.
Passing another Vienna beef. Lulu's.
This look good.
Classic Vienna beef sign. Yeah. That mural, that Lulu's mural is nice. The amount of public art we've passed.
Oh, yeah.
Like that mosaic
Yep.
on that elementary school. The murals you just see like along Ogden.
Chicago is art. Like the whole city is just art. Ela, here's another historic sign.
Another historic Route 66 right across, unfortunately, from the Cook County Juvenile Detention Center.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm shocked we haven't seen so far?
What?
Top Dog Law.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
It maybe passes on a bus, but I haven't seen the billboard.
I haven't seen the billboard. You know what's actually funny that we bring this up? Like, this would be a fun road trip car game. How many Top Dog could you spy?
I spy Top Dog.
We should have done that since we technically started this. We're gonna need a part 2.
Oh, there's another historic sign.
Have y'all ever done this road trip, like just outside of this?
I've actually driven on this before, this Adams to Ogden.
Yeah. I mean, I have 2.
But not with any type of like thought or intention. Because also we're about to pass CineSpace Studios, so I've had to come over here to go to CineSpace Studios a couple of times where people have shot all kinds of commercials, Chicago Fire, Chicago PD shoots out there, a few movies have shot on there. When you get inside of the gates, you'll start seeing like big posters from some of the things that have shot there. Like a really expansive lot. I think Chicago's biggest.
I think so
like
too.
Film and TV and commercial lot.
I believe it is. Ogden is crazy how long Ogden is. Like,
Do you know exactly how long it is?
I don't know, but I know it go all the way out to Orland Park. I mean, out that direction, Tinley and everything.
It is 37.5 miles.
We're at the corner of California and Ogden, right by Mount Sinai, across from Douglas Park, renamed after Anna and Frederick Douglass. I think in the last 5 years. I know when some people think of Douglas Park, they think about the sort of back and forth battle around Riot Fest. A ton of people in the neighborhood have spoken out consistently over its time in the neighborhood. It's been pushed out of Humboldt Park already in its history. Douglas Park was a part of one of those, like the original group of park designs from
Jens Jensen.
Yep.
Basically, this was the crown jewel. Douglas Park was the crown jewel of parks. And now we're about to go to the edge of the city. Oh, Top Dog.
First Top Dog Law sign.
Top Dog. Let's go.
And once you get past Douglas Park, things start opening up a little bit. Start to see way more semi-trucks parked on the side of the road.
Got Farm on Ogden,
Part of the
Chicago Botanic Garden.
Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting, actually.
I've never been there before.
No.
They got a lot going on over at the Farm on Ogden. Multi-use facility, indoor year-round market. They got a variety of courses on aquaponics. You can learn workshops on community gardening. You can tour their facilities. Oh, that's really cool. Shout out to Farm on Ogden. We just passed Principal Barbers, where we interviewed Mayor Brandon Johnson when he was still just campaigning for the role a couple of years ago. Shout out to the North Lawndale Employment Network as well.
Yeah.
In this community. Yeah, we've made it to the end. We are about Ogden, Cermak, Pulaski is about to intersect into us as well. I mean, it's a pretty quick trip if you're just thinking about like inside of Chicago, but there is a lot on this route. Yeah. And a lot of things that I interact with, again, whether it was United Center, Illinois Medical District, the Art Institute, and I've never paid attention, Cinespace, I've never really paid attention to the Route 66 signs along the way. And then so you can end this thing by popping over to DTLR.
get your fit right.
Right? Get you some mics. Get you a new socks hat. Like, even though it is, again, doesn't feel like the mother road, at least until you get to Ogden. Like, it is like the history of Route 66. This idea of connecting Chicago, the rural communities, the things that popped up along the way. And even if it isn't like old school diners and gas stations, there are still like very significant, especially for Chicago, like institutions along this historic route. So even if just by like happenstance or accident, it's still, as you drive up it, feels deeply connected to like vital Chicago organizations and institutions in a really cool way.
I never paid attention that this was Route 66. Like, we see the signs, but like, you don't think about it. But like, when you think about what's around it and when it started, it almost makes sense. You got hospitals, you got the medical district, of course, started there. Talk about the baseball team that started, right around that area. So it was a major road. So you had to have, these were the Chicago type attractions, right? And further you get out of the city, you get motels and other type of things like that.
I always envisioned it before experiencing it as just like a highway. You would think it's just like a major highway. I feel like it's really representative of what Chicago feels like. We went through multiple community areas, a lot of great food, a lot of great attractions that you can stop and see. And it's just an entirely new experience, even if you live here. Mm-hmm. And
this was also the first fully paved highway in America. So going through the Chicago portion, I'm sure our part was one of the first paved areas, but that's an interesting thing to know.
Along the route, what was your favorite thing? You passed by Union Park, Douglas Park.
If I'm being honest, before we started doing the podcast, I was a avid loop hater, and now I actually really love it a lot. Once you like learn about the architecture and like everything around it, I love going through that Art Institute, heading west. Mm-hmm. I think that road just looks, all of the first skyscrapers, all of these just iconic buildings. I really love, and I love Greektown. That was also a good spot.
I don't have a favorite one particular spot, but I think it's kind of crazy to think about how close these things are in reality. Like Douglas Park is just right here. It feels like it take you forever to get there, coming from like the north side or the south side. You know what I mean? And we just went here in like less than 30 minutes. You know what I mean?
Really helps to do it in the middle of the day on a Friday. But no, when you think about all of the things we passed, if you just told somebody, like, what'd you do today? I started at the Art Institute. I went over to Greek Town. I popped by the United Center.
That sounds like
went
a full
through
day.
the medical district. Went over to Union Park. Stopped by Douglas Park. Then went to Principal Barbers. Ended up at DTLR.
Yeah, right.
Pulaski and Ogden. Right, that feels like a much more full day. But how, like you said, how quickly, how closely things are. But I also think along this route, we didn't talk about it a lot, but you start in this very wealthy part of the city.
Yeah.
And as you move out, the city just morphs and changes, like from block to block, North Lawndale and Little Village, and how different they are. And it is so beautiful to see how close things are, but at the same time, how different the city can be in a matter of 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, literally 20 minutes in the whole city changes. Like on one strip, we didn't even make any turns. We just kept on going straight, from the Art Institute. That's crazy.
Kind of makes you think about how much you miss going from point A to point B, doing it this way and really paying attention to the Route 66 signs that are guiding you, taking in just how much space the Illinois Medical District takes up. Again, I'm usually just passing that on 290.
I mean, it's really dope to kind of see. We did end up at DTLR. We're not joking, y'all.
We about to pop in there.
AutoZone.
We are literally at city limits.
Go to the Dunkin'
And
drive-thru.
then you don't even realize how close city limits are, to be honest with you.
Because we're right outside of Cicero, or right about to cross into Cicero.
You visually know it, but you don't realize it when you drive it. Damn, we that close to the edge.
Hey, I want to give a huge thank you to our guest today, hopping in the car with us from 77 Flavors of Chicago, Sarah Fada. Sarah, thank you for jumping on with us.
Thanks for having us.
And Dario Durham, thank you for being in the building.
Yes, you already know what it is.
Even though we started our trip at Michigan and Adams, as I alluded to earlier, the new start of Route 66 is now at Navy Pier for a centennial celebration. If you want some tips for a longer Route 66 road trip, go on back and listen to yesterday's interview sponsored by Enjoy Illinois. Before we get out of here, I got some good news for you. Karaoke Storytellers is back this Sunday at Lincoln Hall. It's going down at 7 o'clock. We got Connor Gorman in the building, Samantha Nerick, John O'Brien, Nesta Gomez, and our brand new audience development manager, Chima Okoro, is going to be hitting the stage. We're really excited. I'm going to drop a link in the show notes for you and a little sneak peek. I might be telling a special Easter story that I've been working on that y'all don't want to miss. So I'm going to see y'all there. We gonna be back bright and early tomorrow. We got some special guests in the building. We'll talk to you then. Peace. Hallelujah. Another day is here. I just wanna take my time and make it clear. I'm gonna read this billboard